Let's see. Let's see. Beautiful day. I joined up with an amazing group of girls called the Litas, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with or not, but they're amazing girls. We get together, we ride. I know a lot of them like to camp. I haven't gone camping yet, but I plan on it. So we were actually going places, and the other girls, I mean, there were definitely a lot of sportsters. There were definitely a lot of sportsters in the crew, and they're very popular among women because of the weight of the bike and the size of the bike. But I realized that I couldn't keep up with the girls that had bigger bikes, in the sense of, like, I felt like my bike was screaming at me every time that I was trying to go past like 50 or 60. It was just too much to, like, it was too stressful. And then whenever I'd be on a highway, man, I'd be blowing away. Like, I remember one time I rode up with a buddy of mine in Massachusetts, and we were coming back, and I was running late to an event, so I had to take majority highway, and I was getting blown away. Like, it was too much. And when I finally got off the bike, my shoulders, my hands, everything was so damn tense. It was just not fun for me. So I was like, in that moment, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna need a bigger bike. I don't know when I'm gonna get it, and I was in between trying to get pregnant for the third time. So I was like, you know what, I'll just take my time. I'll keep the Sportster for a little while. I'm probably not gonna be riding anyway much. But sure enough, you're pregnant, you're stuck home in quarantine, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get a new bike. So pregnant and all, I ended up trading my Sportster in, and my guys at Brantford Harley in Connecticut, which are amazing, got me on this 2010 Street Glide. But I'm enjoying this. It's like sitting on a couch. I'm loving it. I just want to go like camping on it or something like that. I want to go far on it so I can get super comfortable. I find when I take my bikes longer distances, it gives me the opportunity to become more comfortable with them, so that you're not so nervous getting on for the first time after a while or a few weeks of not riding. So I'm trying to see, trying to get a vlogging setup that works best for me and what viewers want to see. I originally wanted a setup in the front of my bike facing me so you guys can see me talking while I'm riding, but when I tried that out, it was too much of a, you guys weren't seeing anything that I was seeing, the views, anything like that. So I was like, that's not gonna be great. And these things are so damn expensive. I'm trying to find like a used one for cheap. I don't think this ride's gonna have much of a view. It's just gonna be riding around this town. I'm not from here, so I don't know any side roads that would take me to like ponds and I'm still kind of nervous like getting on the road, because I find the only thing that I have to master here is being able to move the bike in neutral, because it's so damn heavy. And normally, like, obviously I'm post having a baby, so I'm a little overweight than my normal weight, but I'm usually in my 150s, 160s at 5'4". What's up, dudes? Hello. And so at that 5'4", trying to push an almost 900-pound bike is a challenge, and I'm trying to find like the easiest ways to learn it. But the only way to learn is to be put in a position where you have to push it. So yeah, Dan and I are trying to see if we could do like a couple vlogs, and he's got a GoPro 2 now, so he's going to be recording on his own channel. Hopefully. I've been telling him to freaking record forever because he's got so much knowledge about riding. He's been riding for so long, and he was the one who taught me, and I think it would be very smart of him to pass it along to other people. I mean, especially on days you can't go riding, all we do is watch. We're either watching motorcycle videos or watching tattoo shows or food shows because we're fat asses. But I've been super motivated or super impressed by this YouTuber Itchy Boots. If you haven't heard of her, please go watch her, because I've literally watched almost all of her videos. She has episodes where she's traveling the world on a Himalayan sport bike, or travel bike, I guess you would call it. I'm not sure. and she's so knowledgeable about where she's going, but she has no real, like, she has a plan but not really, you know. Like, she's like, I want to be at the city by the end of the day, and I want to see this landmark, but she'll stop at, like, you know, bed and breakfasts and diners and, you know, off the road oceans and parks and ponds, and she'll have studied the location prior to getting there, so she'll know what she's looking at, and she'll educate you. And I think that's so good, because it's like you kind of want to learn the areas you're in, you know, when you're traveling. It's pretty safe, and it's interesting. You get to actually learn. And I feel like that's what some of these videos are missing, the ones that I've been watching. It's like you're traveling, but you're stopping places, but you're not really teaching us anything that we didn't know already, that, you know, there's places to go and things to see, but what about them? You know, just show me, like, the history of the city or the location you're at. Like, that stuff interests me. Now, another goal of mine while riding, and I think Dan inspires me to do this a little bit more, is learning to read routes and depend less on GPS. You want to, but you have to be prepared for situations where your phone's dead, or, you know, you're in a secluded area where there's no wind, there's no chargers. So I kind of want to learn how to read routes a little better. I mean, I have the idea of it, I'm not an idiot, but to depend on my phone has been something that I've been doing for quite a long time. So it's just one of those things where, like, okay, try and do it, like, read the map before you go out, see where you kind of want to go, and then see if we can get it. Because right now, see, we're on Route 123. And I'm trying to go to Route 33, I believe it is. 33 or 35. Hey, let me call you back. Everybody, this is my sister. Isn't she beautiful? I'm recording. They can't hear you, but I'll relay a message. Love you. Bye. Ooh. Starting to try to pay attention to their signs here before I go off. Have to be careful with the roads with this dewy moisture from the rains we've had. It's dried up on the main cities, but these back roads seem to still be a little wet. So this should take me all the way down back into Connecticut, which is where I'm from. And look, as soon as I said it, welcome to Connecticut. Have the 4 inches, which is common to what most of these bikes have. I have the 3.5s. Same as these bars. These are the 12-inch Yaffe bars. These all came with the bike. I didn't put them on myself. I normally would have never put these type of bars on a bike of mine. Not the style, but more so the height. But it actually works out. I actually truly do like it. It's super comfy. Perfect for my height, I guess, or my proportions, you know, my torso. You guys, if I can do this whole ride without a GPS, I'm gonna be freaking happy. Look at all these nice ass houses. Oh my god. Now I do work full time. Currently I'm on maternity leave, so I'm not having to work, but I'm supposed to be going back early next month. I'm not sure if they're going to have me work from home still with everything going on, which would be great. And that way I get to stay home with one of the kids. My littlest one my middle one starts daycare. Not that you guys really want to hear about my motherly stuff. I don't know. What do you guys want to hear? Like, does anyone ever want to hear about how you manage, like, your personal life riding with being a parent? I know the guys have kids and it seems so normal for them to be out riding, but it seems like it's questioned when it comes to a woman who rides, like, your priorities, you know? But my kids will always be my main priority. It's just, you know, I have a personal fun life to live too. I'm getting a new helmet next week. It's going to be for hotter days. It's a Biltwell Bonanza helmet in bright metallic, so it's a little sparkly, it's girly. I'm excited. It's got it's a 3/4 of a helmet, so my face is open. I wear glasses, but at least it's DOT approved around the skull, which is really important. You know, I know when I first started riding, I had like all the gear on, everything on, and I realized why it is so enticing for people to not wear their gear, because you're hot, you know, and it's uncomfortable. But there's so many things that happen, you cannot ignore that either. So for me, it's like I kind of want to do my best to be as protective as possible, but still be comfortable. I wish there were more things out there that, especially as women, we can wear that would fit the bill, that wasn't like $400, but that's just not the case right now. Look at the horsies! Hi, honeys! I always worry about other people and their intentions, whether they see you or not. There's an argument, and you guys can tell me your opinions in the comments below, but there's an argument, you know, that I've seen on a lot of the Facebook group pages that I'm a part of that says they don't understand why people want to have loud pipes. It doesn't really save your life, or things like that. But in my opinion, it's if they can hear you before they can see you, that's better, right? I mean, essentially that's safer, right? And they argue that it's not. I'm like, I don't get it. If you can hear something before you see it, you're on the lookout for it, and it gives you more time to see that vehicle. Whereas if I had like an electrical bike or super soft pipes, you probably wouldn't wouldn't hear me before you saw me, and maybe that'll be too late in a grand scheme of things. I can't believe it, you guys. I read Roots all by myself. Let's see if this recorded, see the sound quality, see what happens from there. And then I'll have another setup once I get a GoPro. I'm probably going to get a GoPro 7. The only question I have, if you guys want to answer it, if not, I'm going to ask the Geek Squad, is whether or not the stabilization will be as clean with the 7 like it is on the GoPro 8 Black. That's what I have now. Because I did a test on the GoPro Black 8 Black where I put it on my handlebars, and my, you know, obviously the bike shakes because the engine's going, the pipes are running, and it was so freaking smooth. So I was like, oh hell yeah, like this is perfect position, you guys can see me. But yeah, and I don't know if the 7's gonna be as clean, so I'm hoping it is. Joanna. What kind of music do you guys like to listen to? And moving from a Sportster that had middies, mid controls to these forward controls was a challenge too, but you get it quickly, you know, you get it pretty quickly. With my Sportster, when I took that home, I was coming off of a Cowie, like I mentioned before, and I had never ridden a cruiser style bike, but when I went to go pick up the bike, which the location's probably like an hour away from me, I had to ride that bike by myself, obviously. I had Dan behind me riding with the kids in the car. But I had to ride it after never riding a bike, you know, like that style before. In February, I think it was February and March, and it was like 30 degrees out, which feels like 20 when you're riding. Oh my lord, I was freezing. I was shaking because I was going on high, like windy bridges. It was super windy that day too, of course. I was shitting my pants, you guys. I was so damn scared. Oh my lord. And so this time around, I'm like, oh, I was looking forward to that ride, you know, because I kind of have a feel of the bike already, you know, like that style biking or motorcycle. And I was pregnant, so I couldn't ride it. It was funny too because they barely wanted me to test ride the bike when I was pregnant, which to each their own. I didn't ride when I was pregnant. I didn't want to take that unnecessary risk. I could do that for my own life, that's fine, but not while holding someone else's life in my hands or in my belly at that time. So I didn't ride, but I did circle around it in the parking lot of the actual dealership because I want to see if I could ride it or even get on it at that point. And so they were like, oh my god. And Dan wasn't with me. I went on my own. The poor guys there, they were not happy letting me do it, but I'm sure if you know women or anyone independent, you're not gonna tell me what to do. So I was like, I'm getting on that bike, I'm test riding it, and I'll let you know what I think. And so that's what I did. So they were pretty proud of me being able to do that. Now I'm starting to sweat. You can see the sun's coming out more. It's time to put the baby away. I'm frying in here. I got a long sleeve on because it was cooler this morning, and underneath I just have a tank top. Okay, so basically my GoPro died on me. Of course, I'm not even sure if it recorded any of what I was recording, but in case it did, I just want to give you guys a quick peek of my bike. So this is my bike, Bonnie, and I super comfy ride. I'm looking to get. Hope you guys liked it. I could go out there today. I love it.